I don't know, however long it's been. Last session left off with Allura going into jail and you guys trying to figure out how to rescue her and scheduling a meeting with the king after speaking with the master of the guard. That's pretty much the extent of what happened. There was not a whole lot outside of that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I can hear you guys. I just need to feed the cat, so I'll be in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah. So, you guys went back to your sleeping quarters, got a long rest, and I don't know if you guys had planned already how you're talking to the who's talking or anything like that, or if it was decided that would be discussed the following morning after your long rest.
I think all we really decided was that Czar and me, wow, Melvin and me won't be going.
Because, you guys are not charismatic.
No, I'm super charismatic, but I'm dumb.
No, I don't think I actually established if I was going. I just said that someone perceptive needed to go.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that landed.
Yeah, I know I made the argument that I didn't think just Melvin and me should be left to our own devices. But I don't know who would stay and babysit us.
I mean, if it wants to be the Roland Karamu show, that's fine.
Reese.
No, not Reese. It's definitely
no Reese.
Am
Oh
I
my god!
the person who says it right every time?
I thought I had it right. I'm sorry.
This is the typical "my name is in the email" thing, and people are spelling it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how I remember his name is right there, and he changed it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in trouble if it wasn't right there.
It's all his fault. No, wait. Never mind.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we're gonna time skip ahead to everybody's up. You guys are sitting down for breakfast. Because it's nothing fancy. You guys had breakfast delivered to your room. That's about it. So everybody is done with morning prayers and rituals and all that stuff. And that's what we're gonna pick up is everybody sitting down. You guys are all sitting down together to eat your meal. We'll say Melvin is sleeping in.
What a fucking mess. I don't even know what we can say to this guy. I mean, clearly she did what they claim she did.
But if she just tried to touch a book, I don't see how that's a legitimate means for telling us that she's going to be imprisoned for 30 years.
Did she actually touch something? Because I thought she just went to prison for more or less breaking and entering with magic.
I don't think we know the specifics, but they said that she was trying to touch forbidden
Yeah,
books.
I knew there was forbidden stuff back there.
She trespassed into the forbidden section.
Yeah.
And I remember they said something about in that section is things that could cause
like dark magic and
outbreak.
Like diseases that can XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like leaving that poorly enough protected that Allura could gain even potential access is just baiting a trap for people.
I mean, she's kind of talented at getting at things that she's not supposed to get at.
Good at hiding.
Mm-hmm. She's good at disguise.
Well, something about this just doesn't seem right. It seems excessive to me.
Is your approach then to more or less say that, her gaining entry is a benefit. That way we can help them further protect it.
Well, it depends on exactly what their issue is. Like they suggested they were worried about something getting out. I mean, we're not about to stick around here much longer. So
Right.
maybe us removing her from the island completely on the next ship that leaves is enough.
Or like it could be possible that, uh, we agree to go to a specific spot and they just teleport her to that spot. That way they
If
don't
they
have to worry
can.
about, yeah, if they can, if it's an option. But then, like, then they don't have to worry about anything that she might have touched getting out in the town.
I don't know if she was able to see or read anything, but even if it is beyond the whole plague stuff, I mean, dark magic is dark for a reason. And I don't know if she found something. I don't know if they have talked to her. My concern with all of this is that there are so many unknowns. We are playing at a large disadvantage.
Depends on the precise nature of what she found too. Like she could have found an incredibly dangerous weapon. But
Yes.
we're in the kind of fight where we could use an incredibly dangerous weapon to help pad out our potential in dealing with these dragons.
I
So
mean, yes, but if it's a weapon that's like world ending, then it might not be worth using for
if
the
it's a
dragons.
plague and it's not specific to dragons, it would be a bad idea to release that accidentally. But
Yeah.
it could be something that's a lot more targetable
Yeah.
and controllable.
And
Like we
world
just
ending, you know, fool me once, shame on you, me, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you, me.
if you have
You.
world-ending devices that are just within reach of someone like Allura, that seems like an error in design for protecting it.
Yeah. Oh, so one thing you might want to ask them about is if they know how she gained access to it, because you would think something so well, like you were
It
saying,
said that
so
she tried to
big.
magically get it
Like they're saying that she can't get out of the whatever
because
cage
there's
they
no
stuck her
magic
into.
in there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like if they have that capacity available, that would be the safer place to store these dangerous items.
The other option is, not every person appreciates this approach. It depends on who you're talking to, but there is the idea of the quid pro quo.
We do
I
something for
know
them.
that your mother said that this person seems lovely and fine and upstanding, but there's usually every person has a favor they might need to call on.
I mean, I would say that the one thing we can say for sure is that it's not acceptable that she gets left in that cell the way that they were saying. But if my mother says that this person is reasonable, there has to be something we can do to convince them to let her out. So it's a matter of just finding what it is we need to do.
Well, out of character, is anyone actually good at insight?
I'm not. Like Roland's not terrible.
I have 3.
I don't have a high whiz, but I do have proficiency. So I'm the same as
Man, literally all of us tank insight.
Yeah.
I've got proficiency, so I've got a +5. That's not
Oh,
terrible.
okay.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
focused
so
on
the two-
perception.
Yeah, I
Really?
mean, either way, the two of you have identical stats in that. So the question then begs: are you two okay going, or how do you actually want to arrange the groups? I can be perceptive, but Karamu can as well. And let's not kid ourselves. When it comes to it, you can do a lot more things with magic.
I think it's more of a
It's too much
question
light.
of if things go south in a way
Yeah.
that's unpredictable, who do we want to still have outside of the castle?
No. Oh God,
I'd say
that works.
that's a pretty reasonable
Yeah, it's
question.
fine.
In that
Except Carrie lays there.
I'm
it
hoping it
is
doesn't go
I'll
that
a,
just
way,
do
but
that. That's fine.
All right, put it down.
That's fine.
if it comes down to the ability to suppress magic, I'm pretty skillful without magic anyway.
You're also smart.
I don't think I'm actually as smart as either of those two. I'm incredibly
Yeah.
average.
Well, no, you're really smart.
I mean, we could bring Zarash too. Like, I don't think we necessarily need to leave her behind. She is persuasive,
Yeah.
Sure.
and she's got a good heart. So they can look into try and figure out what she's getting at. That she's not going to find anything in there that's worrisome.
I mean, I don't know. Do people of your order have ways of telling the truth? If people are lying,
Oh, to know if people are lying. I see. Yes.
that might be a convincing tool of telling our tale.
So we could make use of that. The thing
Let's
is that if I were the one to cast it, I would know, but it wouldn't necessarily mean that he would know. We're being honest. He
And
would have to cast it.
they'd have to take
Oh.
one of our words that we're being honest,
Right.
regardless.
Which doesn't get us much further than just saying, yeah, we're being honest.
But I mean, I don't think we have to worry that much about that because we are going to be honest. If they want to use that kind of a spell on us to verify our authenticity,
Ideally.
I would freely submit because I don't have anything to hide.
Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, it's just me. I just know. I was just checking to make sure I couldn't cast it on so somebody else knew. But yeah, I can be persuasive. Sometimes I think people feel sometimes that I'm too dumb to lie. So
Hmm.
I'm used to walking these kinds of halls and what the kind of decorum is for these kinds of things. This is basically a hostage exchange or discussion.
exchange.
Well, if enemy takes hostages in wartime, you negotiate their release in some kind of a way.
Ah,
It's more akin to what we're doing here than dealing with a criminal trial.
right.
If it comes down to who you might need on the outside just in case, I am probably one of the most adept, if I hate to say it, at the idea of a jailbreak
Yeah.
quietly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really rather not stoop to that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's the last ditch, but like, yeah.
Well,
I mean, we need her, so
yes, that's not part of the discussion for leaving. But I think I have a pretty decent toolkit of things that could help me, and I kind of rattle part of my bag, and you hear some vials in it.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say if it comes down to it, I could be a good distraction, but that's about it.
So, unless you guys need something sneaky to happen right now, then I think you have the bases covered with me in your back pocket on the outside.
Makes sense. It's true. We could all just go to sleep for 30 years. Be like, all right.
I mean, far be it from me to try and exclude anyone. If anyone wants to come and thinks they can contribute, then by all means.
We just have a propensity to happen upon the worst case scenario a little too often.
Except Melvin. Melvin needs to stay here.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and just seal his. I'm gonna go ahead and lock his door.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Probably not a bad idea.
I go up and I put my hand on his door lock.
Oh God!
And I cast Arcane Lock. How can he get out? Ah. And as I use the magic, I say, please.
You should require him to curse.
Yes.
No, that's just mean.
Then he can't possibly say it unless he
And
thinks
I
to take off the thing.
go back out to the common room.
All right. So who's going in? I'm happy to go or stay, whichever you guys think would be better.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang.
I agree.
Roland's going,
Yes.
but it
Caramu's
could be the
gonna
two of
go.
us. Okay.
Caramu's gonna go. All right. So it's probably better to keep 2 on the outside, 2 going, well, 3 because Melvin, rather than having like everybody go and have Brock by himself, more or less. Maybe.
We're leaving the muzzle outside.
Sounds good.
Well, the least we can do is escort you there and hang out.
Okay. Whenever you guys are ready to go, just move your tokens to the castle.
Hopefully this will not take too long.
10 hours later. How is it that we always decide to go to the exact same square at the same time?
Everybody pile on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are going to Theater of the Mind this.
Cool.
Because I spent too much time preparing in the event of a prison break. Because I have to spend more time planning for the worst case scenario.
Prison break is not off the table.
I know. So I spent so much time making a prison that I forgot to make the castle that the prison is under. So we don't have that. So we're gonna Theater of the Mind this. So when you guys arrive, the guards greet you, and a gentleman with gold trim on his left shoulder, the left shoulder armor, guides you into the inner quarters. You see the double doors to the library to your left, wide open. Obviously, the library because you can see all the books. You continue straight past that, and you arrive to another set of large double doors that they again open for you, usher you guys in. I'm assuming it's just Roland and Karamu that are going in. Is that right? Okay. So he escorts the 2 of you in. The 2 that are staying outside, are you staying in the courtyard or are you staying completely outside?
I think it would be rude or perceptively odd that we would leave our people. So possibly just hang out in the courtyard.
Okay. The courtyard has it is like a full garden, so you
Mhm.
have there's like trees and flowers and benches and all kinds of stuff. And you see a lot of people coming and going through the library, as well as through another set of double doors opposite the library. So there's double doors to your, like when you first walk in through the gate. To the left is a set of double doors to the library. To the right is a set of double doors that lead somewhere else, and straight ahead, further through the garden, is a set of double doors that lead into the inner sanctuary of the castle. Um, so Karamu and Roland are escorted into there. The guard escorting you motions to the garden area for Brock and Zar when he notices you guys kind of linger behind and just kind of like can stay here in this area. And escorts the other two of you further in. The ground goes from being cobblestone to like almost like solid brick. Um, think like almost like large concrete slabs, but they're marble slabs or brick slabs. Like they're this really heavy rock. And you enter in, go up probably like 6 stairs, and you find yourself in the common room or common area for for the king of this area. And seated beside him is his bride. They don't have crowns on their heads. They're not overly dressed in super regal attire. They look fairly just down to earthy. Um, she is wearing muted tones. He's wearing more earth tones. Um, if you like, if they hadn't been seated where they are and they hadn't been addressed as Your Majesty or Your Highness, you would not know that they were royalty.
Are they actually a king and queen? Because last week you said mayor.
Oh, that's what it is. Sorry.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't
I'm
miss
flipping through
something.
notes over here.
Just want to make sure I didn't miss it.
No, you're good. Mayor.
Pre-world set, they were
Listen.
royalty.
I'm all flustered over here trying to get these notes right. Yeah, so but either way, like they don't look like any form of hierarchy. They're very down to earth, laid back, chill. In the To the left, behind the mayor, you notice there's a gentleman in full armor that you would recognize as the master of the guard. And he is just sitting there, arms like hands clasped in front of him, uh stoic face, just calmly watching.
That's a different guy than the general from that we had the bad encounter with last week.
It is the same guy.
Okay.
The mayor looks up at you guys. I hear you requested an audience. As you both are now chewing. It's fine.
Yes, sir. Your people took in one of my compatriots yesterday for crimes that have been inadequately explained, and I was hoping we could find some way to arrange to transfer her back into our custody and move on with our proceedings. We're on somewhat of a tight timetable, and need to be leaving as soon as possible, so we were hoping we could come to some kind of a relatively rapid conclusion that was mutually satisfactory on this.
Right. Who did we take in?
It was a young lady that's been traveling with us.
The
Some magical talent.
master of the guard interrupts. Sir, it's the young lady who was found attempting to access the restricted area in the library. Oh, her. That one. So you'd said that you weren't sure exactly what crime she had committed, or it hadn't been explained correctly. If I understood you correctly.
I still don't believe it has been explained correctly.
Okay. So,
From what I hear, she didn't access anything forbidden.
So she was found attempting to teleport into the restricted area after being told she does not have access to the restricted area and it is completely off limits. And upon her teleportation into that area, she was immediately re-teleported down to our jail cell.
Okay, I can understand that there's been something amiss there. But your man there rather rudely told us yesterday that she would be imprisoned for 30 years for that kind of an infraction, and that seems far too excessive. Surely there's some other arrangement we can come to an agreement over.
So the reason it's 30 years is to deter people from attempting to access an area that is off limits.
And was
And
she informed directly about this 30-year sentence?
she was informed that it's off limits.
If she's not informed of the specific sentence, I don't see how it can possibly be a deterrence.
I don't see how it's my responsibility to inform you of the rules when you enter my city. If something is off limits or illegal, it's off limits or illegal.
We're speaking about the deterrent effect of the severity of the punishment.
It doesn't make it any less illegal. If you're caught
No,
stealing,
but
it's
I'm
30
questioning
years.
I'm questioning your position that it's a deterrent effect. It should be
It-
more clearly posted if it's to serve like that. It seems almost as if you were baiting a trap for people who are unaware of what is they're putting at risk. And I'm not contesting that she did wrong. I'm sure there's some alternative path we can find out of this. I'm just trying to find it.
So let
Some
me
alternative form of
let me
compensation.
explain to you the concern of potentially releasing her. When she teleported into the restricted area and then was immediately exited out, her
Mhm.
arrival knocked over a box that contained samples of a recorded outbreak in this area. That means that she could have the contagion on her.
Is this a magical contagion that's resistant to magical curing?
Nope.
Then that's fairly easy to deal with. I know one of my companions can easily cleanse any possible holistic. I have multiple companions actually. My friend here could do it. He says.
Absolutely. The downside is when you do cure it, it comes right back. Like the cells remain in your body. So what we have to determine is whether or not she is now a carrier.
And is there some kind of a test that we could do for that?
Yeah, we wait.
Surely it can't be 30 years though.
Oh, no, it's like 10 days.
Ten days is longer than, like I said, we're on a tight timetable, but it's not an unreasonable expectation. So if we allow her to sit there for 10 days to see if she develops symptoms, after the 10 days, she could be released back into our custody, and we can move on with our lives.
It's highly probable.
And what would be the eventualities, assuming she is not infected, that would make this not possible?
Her.
In what respect? Like if she's rude
In,
or
te-
something like that?
in 10 days, she will stand trial. They will test to see if she is a carrier. If she is found to not be a carrier, she will then stand trial for trespassing. The determining factor will be her ability to have remorse for what she did and not remorse for getting caught.
Karamu visibly slouches.
So while the first test is fairly easy, just a needle prick on her finger, the secondary is a test of magical means that it really just depends on her.
That all seems reasonable. The one thing that's still somewhat concerning to me is the protections on the items that are apparently such a ridiculous danger. If she was able to penetrate that security, then clearly others would as well. And if simply knocking over vials like that can cause an outbreak of diseases, and I imagine possibly worse, it seems like
So
the
for the
systems there should
record,
be.
the crate that she knocked over was in the process of transit. It was actually leaving the library. It was in hold um, before the ship arrived to take it to the mainland to go to an alchemist. So had she not made the attempt, we wouldn't have had to possibly run the risk of several of our own people becoming contaminated as they regathered everything back into the crate to be transported. Which, by the way, I have several of my guard that are also down in jail cells waiting to find out if they are contagious or carriers as well.
It just seems sloppy that the crate was in any position to be knocked over to begin with.
If she hadn't done what was illegal, it wouldn't have been knocked over. Considering it was in somebody's arms, in transit, to leave the library.
And what if the person had tripped? What if they had fumbled the
Mm-hmm.
box? It seems like you're being rather cavalier with transport of such dangerous items.
Cavalier. We are in a restricted area where only 4 people have access. Where your friend decided to attempt a magical teleportation into an area that they're not allowed after intentionally making a distraction using a mage hand effect. So tell me how it was our callous disregard of handling these materials that caused the issue and not your friend's blatant disregard for rules.
I'm not disputing my friend's participation. I'm saying that
How we handle things is our choice.
That's fair enough. But my friend was not the only person involved in all of this.
Really? Do tell. Who else?
The person you trusted to carry the box who dropped it.
Right. When someone literally teleported on top of them.
I'm not sure how that is necessarily relevant.
Really? Let me have someone teleport on top of you and tell me if you remain standing.
If I was carrying incredibly dangerous contaminants, like a biological plague, I'm sure I would try and do everything I could to maintain control over that and to transport them safely so that if they were dropped,
Right.
it was not going to cause an outbreak.
Right. Let me teleport the elephant on top of you and tell me if you maintain holding on to what's in your hands.
Feel free.
Oh, don't try me.
No, it was a genuine offer. Go ahead.
You see the mayor look to his wife, and she is like, she's smirking and she's just shaking her head. I'm not doing it. I'm not teleporting an innocent man on top of another man. That's ridiculous. You both are being children. Neither one of you has to like what the other one is doing, but rules and laws have to be accepted. Now get over yourselves. This isn't a pissing contest. She goes back to her embroidery. Fine. For the record, he wouldn't have stayed standing anyway.
You're free to think that.
Indeed. Just like I'm free to continue to enforce my rules.
Then I guess we'll revisit this in 10 days at the trial. Would we
Fair.
be able to communicate with our compatriot at any time in the meantime? Assuming adequate protections can be set up to keep her isolated?
I can see if that can be arranged. It might take some time, all things considered.
We're currently staying at the Unicorn's Blessing, so if you could just send a messenger, if that is going to be a possibility, we'll be available at your convenience.
He looks to the master of the guard. He nods. Very well. We will see what we can do and get word to you.
We look forward to it. I'll just gesture to Karmu that we should leave as I go.
And he turns and starts grumbling to his wife as you guys are exiting.
During that time of negotiation, I think Brock would be sitting on a stone bench and he pulls out a pair of dice. And I roll them, on the seat next to me while I cast the spell over 1 minute of augury, where I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that we plan to take within 30 minutes. And then give possible omens of weal, woe, both, or unknown. And as I roll the bones, it's like, oh, how fucked are we?
Both.
It's both.
Oh, fuck. Oh! Wait. But there they are. Okay, this didn't work at all.
I'm Wheel, he's Woe.
That sounds right.
I'm only woe when I destroy worlds and completely alter timelines, alright?
And explode companions.
As we're coming out, I'll just look at Brock and Zara. Like, there's not a lot of good news.
Well, you're not in jail, so that's a good thing.
No, but we get to sit here for 10 days now.
I don't need that much time to plan this.
It's not that. Apparently, she knocked over some vials that were being transported that contained some kind of terrible contagion that magical cures can't effectively purge.
Why was that just sitting there?
That's what I said extensively, and they did not want to hear it.
It wasn't
Like,
just sitting there. Like, dude was carrying it to take it out to his ship, and she teleported on his head.
That's unfortunate, but you don't always get knocked over for teleporting, first off. Second, why was that box not sealed? Why was it in a box? Like,
This is something we should bring up at her trial, is all I'm saying.
Her trial?
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
put her
she,
on
these
trial?
people
Yeah,
are
the
not
trial's
wealthy
gonna
enough to
happen in
understand
10
how to
days.
handle things.
but like the 10 days is more to guarantee that she's
Quarantine.
not infected.
Right.
And if she is infected,
I'm
She's
pretty
not
sure
that's
she
immune.
rots in the jail cell.
This seems like a really terrible disease. We would have to find some kind of high caliber magic if we don't have it ourselves, I think, to try and purge it. We might be able to arrange that, but we're not going to be able to arrange that before then. Not in a
Yeah.
way that they would accept, I don't think. So we may just have to wait the 10 days, but then they've got a trial and they're not very willing to listen to alternative options on that.
Well, but like a trial, they're gonna find her guilty. Like she obviously tried to get into a restricted area. Like, how is that possibly gonna end up good?
Guilty of what, though? Because yes, she tried to get in there, but how clearly is it established that she shouldn't be in there? How much are they doing to prevent them or inform them as to the penalties for trying to access?
as someone who is very capable at entering places, generally when people assume that something is safe and people shouldn't go, they lock the door. That would be my first guess.
I mean, she
And
teleported, so
Yeah. I'm guessing the door was locked if she teleported. She didn't just walk in.
but I would also I don't know who she talked to, what she did before that point. Um,
apparently she caused some kind of a ruckus with her mage hand to distract people,
Sounds right.
which I mean,
Um,
typical.
not to
So,
interrupt here, but is discussing our defensive strategy in the middle of their courtyard in our best interest?
we're just
We're not
talking
discussing
about the
strategy, we're
state
just
of
talking
stuff.
about what we were informed of. We should head back to our hotel room, though. It's a more comfortable place to
But-
handle this.
So,
I mean, it's
About
fine.
this time, you notice 3 guards escorting somebody out of the library.
Ooh. What's the somebody look like?
Dark hair, plain clothes. They're carrying a wooden crate about
Oh.
4 inches by 12 inches, so a long, thin crate. And 3 guards are escorting them.
Run away.
See, if it was this important, they wouldn't even do it in daytime.
I mean,
But
only 3 guards? I could take them right now. Not that I would.
aren't there ways to like magically seal containers so that even if they go fall over, they don't just open?
Well, to magically lock something, yes, I'm sure there's something to magically seal things, but I don't know enough about magic.
I
for
wish
that. But I
Allura
know
was here. I bet
are
she'd know that.
there are mechanical things that can do that. There traps within a tomb, a sarcophagus. Those are
Mhm.
very potent things without magic.
So your
Karamu
fear. Go ahead.
Karamu bends down and just like rubs his hand along the ground, and a giant
no.
hole appears, and then he rubs his hand back, and it disappears. You could just make a stone hole and shove it in there and close the stone hole with magic. Then you have a solid stone with the bat in it. If it breaks, it's stuck in a solid stone.
What if the solid stone breaks?
It's solid stone.
Well, if you know that something inside the stone is broken, then if that's some kind of a plague, then you take the stone out into the middle of the ocean and you drop it overboard.
I'm saying solid stone
okay.
is more sturdy than wooden crate.
So that sounds like an ecological disaster waiting to happen. But I was going to say,
Still in
my
the stone.
fear with a trial in her, aside from the fact that she clearly did the thing she was not supposed to, is that I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but Laura is a little bit argumentative. So, like, what if she gets in an argument with, like, the judge
Oh,
or something?
yeah, that was another thing. They said that she would have to be what? How did they put it, Roland? Genuinely apologetic. Yeah, remorseful.
Oh,
That's
shit.
the word. Yeah, I pretty much thought we were screwed at that point.
Okay.
So
I mean,
am
Well,
there
I
should be.
going to lean on Plan Brock?
yeah.
I think there should be alternatives to her facing life imprisonment for this. Like, surely we can pay some kind of a fine or something like that if we promise to get her out of the city
Yeah.
and leave with her.
Well, so regardless, we have to wait 10 days because she could be
I'm hesitant about
contaminated.
trying to do anything before the 10 days are up because, like, if that disease is a real thing and they're not just drinking our chains, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can I assume that we've now exited the courtyard as we're walking?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not saying that while we're in the courtyard.
I figured you guys were walking back towards the inn.
Yeah. So, um, this is finally when we can appease Melvin to at least be able to get some outside eyes on the castle or the library to just take notice from a distance. But otherwise, we need to not be weird about this because they will take precautions.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be
You,
suspicious.
your parents sang that song to you too?
Yes,
When you-
actually, because my parents were smugglers. So, like we had to be like sneaky and stuff.
Oh, that's not believable.
It's the truth, though.
Oh.
The library does appear to be open to the public, though. I may take a wander in there in the next couple of days just to check it out exactly how it's laid out and what kind of warnings and protections they have in place. I'm obviously not going to be dumb enough to try and get into the forbidden area, but
I could very much assume that if you show up, then you will probably have someone at your hip the entire time.
my
Yeah.
point would not be to try and pull anything. My point would be to get firsthand idea of exactly how well it's warned that you shouldn't try and get in there. Or that
Should
sort of
we
thing.
find out how their justice system works exactly?
Probably
I think we're in the middle of doing that right now.
a boring discourse, but maybe that's something that could be discovered in the library.
I
The mayor
nominate
does seem to have a very personal take on justice.
Roland for trial by combat.
Roland.
I mean, okay,
Against Allura?
wouldn't be my first time.
Oh,
Is
hey,
this-
anything weird happen with that book and the signing thing? You feel different?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine.
Oh, I was just asking if you felt different.
He said yesterday he was fine. He looks fine.
Fine is fine, but you could still feel different.
I'm fine. I don't. Nothing's really changed. I'm still
Okay.
me. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't expect you to wake up and be a frog.
Great. Now I wish I'd made that happen.
Sorry. Hmm.
All right. So we are on day 1 of 10.
Say, like, do we have anything we want to do in the next 10 days?
I actually found a better way to pass the time other than
Waiting on your armor.
well, other than learning to knit. I want to see if the people in the kitchen of the inn will let me help out, and I want to learn to bake.
Okay. Roll me 3
Uh-huh.
performance checks.
Oh, awesome. Did that actually roll? Okay. Wow. That's a bad start. 7.
Roll me 2 more.
Yep. Hey, it's better. Hey.
Beautiful.
Had a real rough start there, but you took it on pretty quick.
First day I put salt instead of sugar in everything.
What's baking powder? We surely don't need that.
That's not important.
I'll use soda instead.
Yeah.
Why do I need powder when I'm already baking?
Yeah. So day like 1 and 2, they are like all but screaming at you. By day 3, something clicked.
Yay.
And you're like, oh, I have to let the dough rest. I get it now. And you're like impatiently, like the bowl is here, and you're like staring at the dough for 2 hours, watching it like slowly rise.
It moved a little.
You're totally one of those, shh, my bread is rising, don't run. And everything just clicks. But yeah, so it does take a couple days. It's like 2 days, and then it finally all comes together.
Yay.
And you figure out how to make bread. Is there anything else that you wanted to learn to bake?
Once I get the basics, I want to learn to make cheesecake. Since I have that recipe.
I forgot I gave you that recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they help you decipher it and
Mhm.
translate it into a discernible language for you.
Cool.
And again, it takes a couple days, but you guys do master it. So by like day 6, you guys have successfully made cheesecake.
Awesome.
But you have to wait till day 6 to have cheesecake. We're on day 1.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while.
We'll get there.
Eventually. That's right. 2 more days, you'll have bread. It'll be delicious.
Alright.
Is there anything anybody else would like to do during this unorchestrated downtime?
I think one day I might be going through my pack to clear out some stuff that I don't know if it'd be relevant anymore. You know, like an imprint from an a piece of rock from an earth elemental with that symbol, or footprint of Estian, or I come across this interesting silver platter, and largely I would just go to the I would guess the metallurgy shop
Okay.
to just get an idea of what it is. I mean, I partially
Okay.
know what it is, but since things have changed, I don't know.
I have to pull up my notes now. Jeez. That was a while ago.
A little bit.
Hmm. Did we make an item for that, or
Yes, it is called the untarnished silver plate that came from Vinla? When it was flooded?
I don't have that item on my list.
It was the silver was part of the like bomb thing
Something.
that we needed to make.
Oh, when we were doing the scavenger hunt to make the thing to fix the thing. Right.
Okay, so it looks like you ended up making like custom adding that
Yes.
item.
Yes.
I thought I had made an item for it.
Oh, because these were just like random things that ended up having major effects because like I custom added deck of cards with silver filigree. I didn't look for the blue item of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have it's what untarnished silver platter.
Yeah, and I know it was the kind of metal or ore that needed to be used for the super bomb or whatever.
Back to old world files.
Oh yeah, because we still haven't figured out if we still need to do that part or not.
We do not.
Right? Okay,
do
we
not.
don't. Okay.
Nope, the portal is closed.
Oh, that's right. That was to close the portal. Got it.
Yep, the
Oh,
nearite bomb.
So I had already talked to someone. What place was this? Session 31. I talked to some armorer about the silver platter that I found in Vinla, the same material needed to make the nearite battery.
That's the weird silver stuff, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. In session 11, this was... Yeah, this was in Vinla, because this is where I found my shovel. In a jeweler's house, I found
Wait,
the
I
deck of
found your
cards.
shovel.
Huh?
I found the shovel.
Yep. And found a trader's outpost left of the crypt place. I found a silver platter that was 100% untarnished by age or wear.
Indeed. My issue is discerning my notes from a really long time ago. Nope. Nope.
If it's something that, I mean, clearly it's not going to be something that's super important to the immediate things of the game. So if you just need to look at it another time and message me, that is also fine. I don't want to like take up more time or something side.
It's okay. It's all good. I will figure this out. Was there anything else that you wanted them to look at?
I can't think of anything specific. Let's see, this was in Oh, I was right. No, I think I'm largely okay. I mean, I might poke in a little bit if I find something else, but as of right now, I'm okay.
Okay. Um, when you take it over to the metallurgy, they examine it very very closely and return it to like I say return it to you like they're examining it in front of you. They hand it back to you and they offer you 500 gold pieces for it.
I wasn't trying to sell it. I was just trying to get some information. I'm happy to at least compensate you for your time over it, but no, I'm not trying to sell it right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. What did you want to know about it?
I have an idea of where it came from, but is there any? Why would something like this have ever been considered rare? What kind of properties would it be useful in? You have armors that are more impenetrable as the kind of material, um, depending on the material used. Same in weapons. What
Correct.
makes this what it is?
Well, that metal has been imbued with magical properties. Um, there's there's what many in our profession call cursed metal. Just it not cursed not necessarily meaning bad, just unnatural. Something that was forced into it. Um, so the platter that you're holding is actually cursed and has the ability to uh how do I explain this? Um it's it'll let you look through someone else's eyes. It's hard to explain it. Like you can see what somebody else sees or something like that. Um it's that's the best way I can explain it. Basically, like you when you hold the platter and focus into it. I don't know if you tried it or not. Um and allow that focus to move through the platter into another being. You you're able to see through that being's perspective. Does that make sense?
Ish, but clearly I have to see this person then. I
Um
suppose I will maybe go to the library even.
I don't know if you have to see them. You just have to be able to focus on them. You
Oh,
don't
sure, I
do
can try.
magic, do you?
I don't, but I do travel with individuals that can use magic.
They might be able to help you learn to focus through something.
Hmm,
It's the best way I can explain it.
I see. My thanks. Do I owe? Can I compensate you for your?
No, it's not often I get the chance to see something like this, so that was a treat just for me.
Well then, I'm glad we could both benefit from this. Have a pleasant day. My thanks.
You as well.
And because I don't want to fully get rid of things that are totally irrelevant, like I might need your help on another day to go through some of this where I can purge.
Okay. I just sent you a message. Hokely dokely. Anybody else?
Roland had two small things I wanted to deal with. The first, just I wanted to look around the town for healers. Just anyone who might have known about the earlier outbreak of the contagion.
The herbalist shop would be your best bet.
That's probably where I would go first too. I just like how they eventually stopped the contagion is basically all I'm looking for. Is that kind of historical information. I just figured they're the most likely ones to know it.
So what you end up finding out is they shut down the town, quarantined everybody, and actually waited for the virus to age out.
So everybody who was infected had to die.
Essentially.
Did
And
they save each other with bleach?
The antibodies were passed on. So the generation now is not as contagious, is not as affected by it. But they do tell you like there's this amazing alchemist on the mainland that they're sending everything to, that she apparently knows how to do everything. She's phenomenal. And they're hoping that she can find a way to ensure that there's not another outbreak in another town.
Okay, I'll thank them for their time. I feel like 5 NPCs in the entire world. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go to the library.
Absolutely. What would you like to do there?
I would like to introduce myself to the librarian, whoever's like manning the entrance or something like that. Make myself very obviously known that I'm in there.
Absolutely. So when you arrive, the guards greet you. You mention that you're there for the library. They tell you it's by appointment. They run back. They talk to somebody. The librarian comes running out and says that they can fit you in. And as they're walking you to the library, they say, you hear them talking about how, oh, we normally only let like historians in, so this is like a real treat. Not very often do we have adventurers that want to come and see our library. Y'all are a very special breed. So is there anything in particular you're looking for that I can point you in the direction
of? Two things. You should know that one of my friends is currently under arrest for trying to get into the forbidden section of the library.
Oh, that elderly historian. She's one of yours.
Yes. And I do apologize for that. Part of why I'm here is that I'm curious about exactly what kind of security measures you had in place, just to try and forewarn people of what was potentially going to happen. I don't need to know the specifics.
Points to an iron, it's a wrought iron wall, like barred wall with a wrought iron gate that says forbidden area, do not enter, penalty of death.
Seems a little extreme. Is it just the wrought iron gate that's blocking people off from getting in there?
Oh, heavens no. Heavens
well, I mean,
no.
I obviously know that trying to bypass it with teleportation got her teleported into the jail.
Oh no, if you touch that handle, it'll ignite your whole body on fire.
Just touching the handle will ignite my entire body on fire?
Oh, absolutely. Just crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't that seem a little dangerous to you, especially fire in a library?
Oh no, it's magic fire. It'll only burn you alive.
I guess I thought of that at least. But what if
Of
I were to
course.
slip and trip and fell and reached out and accidentally grabbed the handle as I fell?
Well, why would you be over by that door? There's no reason to be over there.
Are there any other books over by that door, like shelves?
No.
Okay.
There's a good, like, 12 feet girth around the door. Like, there's literally no reason to ever be over by the door.
Just, it feels incredibly dangerous to have that kind of risk right out there without any way to keep people from it. Like, what if there was a child who came in here and was running around and didn't know what they were doing?
Children aren't allowed in here. If parents want to read to their children, they go in the garden. The parents come to the door and we give them the book and they go in the garden. Because too many children have torn pages out of books being unattended. So, or they've knocked over entire bookshelves. I do not deal with that. I don't have time for it. No. Children are not allowed in the library.
If there's even, is there even a need to have an entrance to the Forbidden Zone from the main library here that's meant for public access?
Absolutely.
Like, do you folks need to access that? As far as I can remember from what the mayor said, only 4 people have access to it in the first place.
Absolutely.
Would it not make more sense to keep that in a more secure location rather than the openly accessible library?
Do you know how much effort it would be for me to actually leave where I'm at now and walk half a mile out of the way to enter the restricted area?
Oh, then I presume you're one of the 4 who are entitled to enter.
Indeed.
I don't know, it just seems like the security is all over the place on this. Like, obviously there's severe penalties, but it seems like it's almost inviting access.
It's only inviting access if you're looking for trouble.
Some people do.
Well, then they found it. Were there any books you were particularly looking for?
Do you have a book on the law codes of the region here?
Absolutely! And she reaches over and, like, this book bigger than the Bible gets slapped down in front of you.
And can I take this with me to my hotel room to peruse, or does it need
Oh
to
yeah,
stay in the
absolutely.
library?
I got like 10 copies of it.
Also, while I definitely appreciate that you have bound laws like this, is the mayor entitled to overrule the exact wordings of the laws? Or is he bound to follow by the laws as well?
I don't have an answer on that one, because I'm not a master of the law. So I don't know. I'll be honest, we've had peace here for so long, I don't know that he's ever had to overturn a law.
Might be an interesting strategy to try at trial, though.
If you're that interested, you may want to speak to a master of the law.
And where would I find one of those?
You're gonna look for Roger Nathaniel. I think he's technically next door to the bakery. Just follow the smell of fresh bread. Can't get lost. They make the best cinnamon rolls.
That's the bakery out in the tent spaces, middle of
Oh,
town.
we only have one bakery, the best baker in town, kind of kicked everybody else out, I guess. Yeah, his wife does like a fruit and veggie stand. I don't
Okay.
know, but
Yeah, I think I know the place
oh,
you're talking about.
yeah. If you get a chance to try their strawberry tarts, oh, I highly recommend.
So this Roger Nathaniel also is the baker?
Oh, no, sorry. That's the historian. I got hung up talking about bread and the baker. I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
So where can I find this master of the law?
Next door to the baker.
Oh, next door to the baker. So out of character, would that be the green roofed house across the street? Okay, that one.
The
Okay.
little brown shack.
Okay, well, I thank you for your time then, and I'll take a look at the book here to see if there's anything I can find to help my friend.
Absolutely. No rush in getting it back. Just make sure I do get it back. They always go like hotcakes some days.
It'll be back before the trial comes along.
Very well. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much, and I'll go back and tell everybody what I have learned,
Okay.
and then we can go with Roger Nathaniel. I just want to give poor people the chance to jump in on this.
You're going to make me write out a whole bunch of laws for this, aren't you? Karamu, I need you
Or-
to pretend to be a lawyer.
Or we could just do like an investigation check or some other kind of intelligence check to like, can I find a clause that's useful?
Oh, I'm
Like,
gonna.
there's a term for an inviting danger, like swimming pools are like an attractive nuisance or something like that, and you have to have fences up to keep people away from the attractive nuisance. Like make like there's an attractive nuisance in this great gate you have there. Ooh, don't touch! But there's nothing protecting you, and if you actually do touch, you die terribly. What?
They're like, have you heard of the concept? If you tell people you can't do this, you're asking them to do it.
Like you don't shock them a little bit first and tell them, no, really, fuck off. Just oops, I slipped up and hit the handle, die.
So before Roland goes and meets the first lawyer in this game, oh, did anybody else want to do anything? Oh goodness.
I'm just curious, like, so I remember like there was one day when Laura woke up, there was just randomly food there. And we discussed there was no place to go to the bathroom, but like is literally she's just in an empty cell all the time by herself, visitors? Like
We're also supposed to get a chance to possibly go see her.
maybe. Yeah.
At some point there is like a cot brought in, and like Allura you could hear like people talking at a distance, but through your door you don't, like, you see a cell across from you but you don't see anybody in it. Karamu's not doing anything.
One of the days he would probably go to pick up those necklaces. See,
Oh yeah.
during the armor, he had paid to get the Eyes of the Manseer put in necklaces.
Yeah, those would be ready on day 2. Zar, your armor would also be ready on day 2.
Yay.
At any point during our downtime, would a soldier or a representative of the city have come to tell us that we can speak to Allura?
Getting there.
Never.
On the afternoon of day 2, a note is left with you at the front desk of the Unicorn's Blessing. That note, whichever one of you the attendant sees first, would hand it to you, and it would say that at first light tomorrow, arrangements will be made for you to speak with your traveling partner. Please arrive at the gate right after dawn.
That is what we're doing on the morning of day 3.
They didn't say like there's a limit of people who could see her, did they?
They did not.
Okay.
I don't think there's any reason to limit how many of us go this time around.
Yeah. I was just checking.
Melvin should still stay home.
Yeah. He's been grounded.
Well, ever since he got his loot, he doesn't seem to want to come out of his room. You just hear him playing, and then nothing, and then playing, and then nothing, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Next time you see him, he's 10 pounds lighter. He's not even eating. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna throw something at you.
He has lied about a week.
All right.
At least there's no like such thing as like the opposite of expertise, but like double disadvantage on anything. Because I feel like full plate would have that for stealth.
I mean, the only way that you can stack that kind of thing is if it's like someone casts Bane on you or something.
Yeah.
So we can do one of two things. We can say, okay, it's day 2. Roland's, and that's when Roland's gonna go talk to the lawyer. We can fast forward to day 3, where you guys go meet with Allura, and then Roland can go meet with the Master of the Law afterwards.
I'm fine with whichever order people want.
That is up to you guys.
Yeah. Either way, it's fine.
Logically, it would kind of make more sense to me to, well, in a sense that benefits us the most, it would be to speak to that law expert before we go talk to Allura. But, you know, I think we all did a lot by the time of this second day, so I'm not sure if that would actually work out or not, so whatever.
We can make it work. It would just be like late in day 2. That you would make it over there, or it could be like it ended up being like midday of day 3 that you would go see the Master of the Law, because it would be after speaking with Allura. It's just up to you guys. I'm actually gonna let you guys think on that real quick. I just realized my water is empty, so I'm going to go get more water real quick. I know. I picked it up and I was like, oh, I'll get a drink, and there's nothing. So
I hate it when I do that.
So I'm gonna go grab some more water real quick. Possibly let the doggos out before they riot. So we'll take a quick 5, and then we'll figure out what you guys want to do.
Okay.
we might have an idea of things we could tell her. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how deep we want to get into the technical details of the law either, because I know Cease doesn't want to bother writing it up. So we can accelerate that by whatever means she thinks is most viable.
We'll figure that out. I'll wing it. I'm pretty good at that. So, you guys want to see Roger? Go see Roger first, and then go talk to Allura.
Yeah, so see Roger late on the second day, and then
Allura morning of the third. Okay. Who all is going to see Roger?
Roland will. Anybody else is freely welcome to come, though.
Given that I've been incarcerated in the past, it's probably something I'm very interested in.
Okay. Anybody else in attendance?
You said he's down by that, where
He-
it says bakery.
Yeah, the little shack to the right of the bakery.
Oh, to the right of it. Okay.
Yep. Oh, I even had coffee and I'm still tired. Alright, if you're going to see the Master of the Law, please move your token so I know who all is in attendance. The Three Stooges. Okay. I'm gonna assume Czar just stayed back and baked. Groovy. Alright. You guys arrive. A gentleman in nice clothes, not necessarily fine, but nice, opens the door, looks at all three of you. Is this a joke?
Is it funny?
An elephant and an elephant dwarf and a man come to see a man about law? Yeah, that could be the beginning of something funny.
Is this how serious you are when do you like represent people and this is how you talk?
I represent nobody.
Okay.
Roger Nathaniel?
Yeah,
I was told you were a master of the law.
I am.
Well, we have a friend who has run afoul of the law,
Sucks to be them.
and we need some advice on how to get them not afoul of the law.
Oh. Okay. Come on in. I'll put some tea on. This might need something stronger. This is gonna be a while. He leaves the door open, just walks away. You notice that his hut, I'm gonna say his hut, his cottage is very bachelor quaint. It's the easiest way I can explain it. There's one chair at a table, and there's a bookshelf, but it's got 4 books on it, and there's one plate and one set of silverware, and it's just enough. It's just him. It's just enough for him. But funny enough, he has multiple cups. They just don't match. So he pulls these cups down, starts heating up water. All right. Tell me what happened. What law did your friend break?
She tried to access the forbidden section of the library.
Why?
She's a curious-minded person.
It says It says not to do it in the name.
I didn't say
Yes.
she was right to do it.
Okay. All right. And what? You want to get her out of trial?
At least minimize the damage at trial so that we can get her out of there and get back on the road.
Okay.
We're already
There was
losing time
no-
here.
My assumption, obviously, and I don't know if I completely trust this, but I doubt there was any ill intent outside of searching knowledge, and we don't have an interest in staying or causing more problems in your town.
Beautiful. I don't care. I'm not the one you have to convince.
Assume that's the mayor.
It's actually not even him. Funny enough, he's not judge and jury.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. His wife is.
That's a better thing.
She tends to have a more reasonable mind about her. However, she is a master of the magic arts and has devised a spell to determine if somebody is guilty or not.
Telling the truth or not, or actual guilt?
Actual guilt.
But only of what they describe. That doesn't make sense. I'm guilty of a lot of things.
Fantastic. So, unless the things that you're guilty of pertain to this town and the laws held within it, your guilt doesn't matter. So, the way that this works is that the tried party is presented before the mayor's wife. And they basically take a seat in a chair of her making that activates this magic spell thing. I don't know, I don't do magic. Thing that she's created. And what ends up happening is that it has the ability to search the truth of somebody to determine if they have broken a law of Edelon. If they have, it then checks to see if they hold true remorse for what they have done. If they are truly remorseful for committing their act, then they are exited with a slap on the wrist. If they are not remorseful, or only remorseful that they got caught, they are sentenced.
And does the spell only affect the one who's being tried, or does it affect everyone in the room?
Only the one being tried.
That's unfortunate.
Why?
Could have tried to bait her husband into doing something incredibly stupid.
Right. Good luck with that.
We've already met, he's easy to bait. She was displeased with us carrying on.
You think he's the one that runs the town. That's funny.
I didn't say that. I said he's easy to bait. I imagine she keeps him more under rein than
Well,
anything else.
he is considered, from what we are told, the mayor, and everyone just refers to her as the mayor's wife.
Yeah. Funny, you've never been married.
He's also never heard of the phrase, the power behind the throne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very married. Very happy to not be married.
Yeah.
My
There's
wife's
a
lovely.
reason
but
I'm still
don't cross
single.
her.
Yeah, she definitely runs the whole facility. She is the one that put the anti-magic spells and runes into the stone of the prison. The entire prison is covered in anti-magic runes. You can't cast a single thing down there.
So this detection of guilt that you're talking about too,
Mhm.
is that based on the target's understanding of their own guilt, or is that based on a strict reading of the laws?
That I don't know. My present level of understanding in regards to it says I'm done. Okay. My present level of understanding regard. Now she's laughing at me. My present level of understanding regarding that.
Roger, do they need fed or something?
Who?
Clearly, the birds outside hang out for a reason.
Oh, that they eat the scraps from the baker. I'm sorry, they're a bit of a distraction. Yeah, he's always throwing his scraps out there. So my understanding is that it checks for the emotional complexity within the person. So I believe it's their present level of understanding regarding what they've done. However, I also have realized after watching mini trials that it does genuinely look for the sincerity of remorse. And it like there's a reason I phrase it as if they're sad that they got caught, it don't count. But if they're actually sad that they did it or apologetic that they did it, it counts that. And the reason I say that is because I've seen the way that it checks the inside of somebody. Like, it looks horrendous, and honestly I believe it's gotta hurt something fierce. Although nobody ever screams and nobody seems to care, but it looks horrible.
Oh, you say you can, like, people who are witnessing the trial as you describe it, they can see what this is determining as well?
Yeah. If you're present. Sounds like one of those neighbor's dogs got a hold of those birds. Man.
I was about to say, I haven't actually heard that species of bird. That's...
That sounds like a bird being murdered. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. My house is a circus at 9:00 at night. Yeah. So when you what you can expect if they give you audience to the trial. There's no so and so goes and represents and presents data, or no. You go and you watch the person being tried take a seat in this magic chair. What ends up happening is you see this like pink smoke essentially erupt out of the chair and form into honestly, it almost looks like they almost look like shards or daggers, or like think like icicles flying at your face. And the smoke like jams into the person. What happens after is the important part. That's when the judgment is made. So this smoke checks the truest part of you and then presents the truth. And throw your distraction. Illyria, Latoya. Break. Thank you. The presentation after, you're going to see one of three things. You're going to see either the smoke dissipates and nothing is left, in which case they are found with true remorse and are free to go. The smoke does not dissipate. In fact, it lingers. And it's either going to linger around their heart, meaning they carry no regrets. They don't even care that they got caught. Or it's going to linger around their feet, where they only have regret that they got caught. In either case, they're found guilty. One carries a higher sentence than the other.
And is there any possibility of alternative penalties for guilt? Like, is there a possibility of a fine rather than them serving prison time?
I've seen it happen in the past where offerings had been paid. Drop it. To reduce time served, I guess would be a phrase to use. We've seen that happen. It's just not rare. Or not common. It's rare that it happens. It's not common. It's not commonly happening. But whatever. Something like that.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem like there's a lot that we can do to affect the outcome of events.
How well do you know your friend?
Somewhat, but she's a little reserved and tricksy.
Well, just depends on your friend as to what the outcome will be. They truly control their own fate, which is why they set the system the way they did. There's no tricking the system or anything. It's truly in the hands of the person that's being accused.
So I guess a proper understanding of the law and looking for loopholes or alternative options is just a waste of time.
It can be. I mean, you could try to present a case, but
if magic determines that she's guilty,
yeah, she carries her own guilt. The system effectively allows you to condemn yourself.
what if she truly believes she's done nothing wrong? Like, in her heart of hearts.
In that instance, I believe the system would look at it and say that she carries no remorse for doing something she shouldn't have, knowing full well that the law states that it's forbidden. Then she would be found guilty. That'd be carrying a lack of remorse.
What if she felt it wasn't forbidden to her?
Then that would enable her as considering herself entitled to something that she's not entitled to. Again, not carrying remorse. I
understand what you're saying. It's just I'm trying to find a way to weight this in our favor as much as reasonably possible.
I get it.
Breaching the system.
I get it.
Well, thank you for your time. Clearly, the law is just the mayor's wife and her super spell, and that's unfortunate.
That's only if you do something wrong. Understand that the law itself is written ahead of time. So the spell actually takes into account the law of the land. It's not like the mayor just goes, "Oh, well, this is illegal now," and it's the law. It does have to go through like proper channels to be made a law.
So there would have to be a law in the books specifically stating that that part of the library was forbidden. They
Correct.
can't just put up a sign.
It is correct, and it is. It was actually agreed upon by the head council.
Yeah.
It's been reestablished every 20 years.
And does
When was the
this
last time it was
spell-
reestablished?
About 6 years ago.
Damn.
Does this ever take into consideration the will of the gods? My friend is very devout.
Right. I believe a god would need to present themselves and say, "I made her do it." If you have that kind of power, I want to know what you're smoking. And I want to know why you're not sharing.
There's an alchemist back on the mainland.
Uh-huh. I know her.
Um,
I'm assuming we're talking about the same one over in the swamp.
Agnes.
Yeah. How is she?
Limber as ever.
Yeah. She always has the best stuff.
Yes,
Sorry. What about her now? What about her?
She's intercepting something that my friend got caught for.
She's intercepting what?
Our friend
Uh-huh.
entered
Uh-huh.
a place she should not have,
Uh-huh.
and whatever she ran into is now going over there.
Oh, yeah, Agnes, my understanding Agnes is researching the vials of contagion.
Oh, you're aware of those. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to be aware of the law that was passed to transport them. It's not very often you have to get armed guard from 6 cities.
Question then, and you'll forgive, this is not intended to be an attack, but what is the point of being an expert at the law if it comes down to one spell from one person?
Oh, I'm an expert to make sure that there's not contradicting laws.
Got it.
So when they sit down and they're like, "Hey, we want to make it illegal to walk on the right side of the road," and I go, "You can't. It's illegal to walk on the left side of the road." They go, "Oh, crap, never mind."
Are there any laws about the leadership protecting public safety?
What do you mean?
Like creating dangerous things in the town that put citizens at risk? Like a handle on a door that's freely available to anyone that would cause you to immediately burn to death if you touched it.
That handle was voted on by the council. In fact, that the entire parameters of the system for the forbidden section of that library were voted on by the council.
But are there any generic laws about protecting public safety that those laws might violate?
Not that I know of. But you're welcome to read that we're up to 28 8,622 pages of
See,
law.
this is the problem that I have with the law.
It's
Is
convoluted and mixed signals.
yes, and I come into a town and have the expectation that I should know these 28,000 pages of things, and if I just happen to be a patron running my fingers across the wall, suddenly I'm on fire.
So, the only legality that we have in there is that all readily illegal behavior. That's not how it's phrased. Hold on. Let me make sure I say this right. Because it's getting late and my brain doesn't want to work necessarily. Basically, there has to be posted signs. If you can't cross the street here, there has to be a no crossing sign. If you can't cut down these trees, there's a no cutting tree sign. If it's illegal to sell goods in a certain area, there is a no selling goods sign.
So, if there is a sign that says "forbidden, do not enter, can cause death," that to me says "don't enter," not "don't touch or be near the door."
Yeah, above the handle it says do not touch. I know because I welded that onto the door.
Man of many skills.
I was bored. And they were taking their friggin' time over at the metallurgy. Slackers.
Seems like an awful lot of laws for a single town.
I mean, one of the laws is probably outdated and we could probably get rid of it. Something about no spitting on the street on Sundays, but
Wait, what?
yeah.
That would be a shame if anyone had done that while they were here.
Every time it's reviewed by the council, only 4 people vote to keep it, and unfortunately, it's majority. Good news is the penalty on it is very specific. Tell them
Look
not to spit on the street on Sundays.
Hmm.
That was the compromise.
That just
Somebody
seems...
wanted to keep that as a law. I don't know. I don't control the council. I just educate them when there's a law that could possibly contradicts something.
Maybe educate them that some laws are dumb.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we
We
seem to
do.
be in a spiral away from the concept of justice and into the minutiae of the law.
Sorry, some of these laws have been around for a while. Good news, restricted section hasn't been around that long. 50 years, I think. 60, 50. Almost 50 years.
Hmm.
46 to be exact.
Is there a particular section of the law code here that deals with agents of the gods? And special privileges or anything they might have?
No. We had several people come through here claiming to be called of the gods, agents of the gods, a monk from the gods. No.
And if we can prove it.
There's still no accommodations made for it.
I asked if there was stuff in the law books about it.
Yeah.
Not
No.
whether you could prove it.
Nah, they don't care. Anybody could claim it or try to prove it or it's monkey business, I tell you. Speaking of monkeys.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your evening to entertain us in our questions.
Absolutely.
It's an unfortunate circumstance that we had to go through all these channels just to ensure that we understand what is happening to our friend. But Thank you. Not everyone has been so forthcoming.
That is a bit of a dilemma in town, unfortunately. People are very close-minded about strangers.
Well, unless you guys had another question, I'm gonna go ahead and.
No, I think we're pretty much done. I can't think of anything else I could ask at this point.
Well, if you think of
So-
anything, you know where to find me.
I appreciate that, but
Yep, have a pleasant evening.
unless you
Oh
can find
yeah.
some miraculous thing in this logbook, which I doubt.
I wish you the best of luck. It's good bedtime material if you're trying to fall asleep quickly.
Indeed.
Aye. Indubitably.
Exit and start walking back to the inn, I guess.
Okie dokie.
Oh, so fucked. She is so fucked.
This is both the most obtusely over-legislated place I have been, and the most flagrantly, just impulsively run legal system I've ever seen as well.
What day is today? Sunday?
You really shouldn't spit on the street on Sundays. They're taking care of it for them.
Kind of, rub my boot over it. Well, I mean,
I guess we gotta try and convince her to actually feel remorse for having done the wrong things.
doing the thing that she wanted to do, yeah. And I'm not sure if others will, if they are listening while we talk to her, exactly maybe appreciate us coaching, say, hey, we know you're not sorry, but maybe you should be sorry.
Well, they'll definitely be listening, but we need to, we can't coach her to feel a certain way. She needs to actually believe it, apparently. So it
I
would
was
be
gonna
more.
say, can you actually talk someone into remorse?
Be more convincing her of the severity of the situation. But who knows? I'm not even. I don't agree with the severity of what appears to be the punishment for this. It seems arbitrary, and it feels like they're baiting people to touch that door.
I mean, worst case, we just take the bunnies method, right?
Well, I mean, the worst case would be to ransom his wife, but I'd rather not go that direction again.
I was thinking something a little more permanent.
Right.
She seems very reasonable. Hopefully, we can work this out. I mean, I was an ass in front of her husband because he was being an ass to me. But I am right that he's incompetently running his security in there.
Though at the same time,
Yeah.
Roland,
Did you see
given
the
that
way
you
he
were-
was dressed?
Casually, but I don't hold that against him.
I do if you're bringing people in for official meetings.
I mean, some of that could just be culture, like the rulers where I come from, they always addressed you in full plate, even in times of non-war. So I say, let's just get some sleep, and we'll hopefully be able to have some hard truths with Allura in the morning. We have to be up early. So if we haven't had anything to eat or whatever, I'll, snag some sort of piece of bread that Czar has been working on and head up to bed.
Is it sourdough? Can it be sourdough?
It can be any bread you want.
Yay, I made some really good sourdough.
There you go. Well, this is the day you didn't quite fully understand, so it's really dense
That's right.
sourdough.
Sand?
It's
I
just
mean-
dense. It's heavy.
It's really complicated.
Sand. There's sand in this.
I think it's like, sugar, you put it on stuff and it gets hard and crunchy. Maybe.
Okay.
Nope, sand. I like that idea. It's sand. She misread sugar for sand.
Starts with an S. It's powdery.
It's a coastal town. It's beautiful and white.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's funnier to me than I thought it would be. All right. Unless anybody has anything else to do, evening passes without incident, and morning arrives very, very quickly. At first light, your presence is requested outside the gates.
Ugh. Okay.
Just day 3 or 4.
3.
3.
The morning of day 3. So you guys arrive before getting the chance to eat breakfast. Yeah, sorry. You are greeted by 2 guards. They nod at you when you arrive and turn and knock on the gates, which unbolts from the inside. And come here. Come here. Oh goodness. Sorry, dealing with
Aww.
feisty cat.
Mm-hmm.
She can't decide if she wants her bed or me. Hi. You can stay. I don't care. Sorry, now she's distracted me. The interior door is unbolted, and the master of the guard steps forth. Are all 4 of you going down to see her?
That was
Yeah.
the plan.
Very well. Follow me. He escorts you through the doors. There are 2 guards that follow in behind you. And the 3 guards escort the 4 of you through the garden to a back door that takes 2 separate keys to unlock. And one key held by the master of the guard, the other key held by one of the guards standing at attention outside of the door. Hi, can we move, please? Thank you. The door is opened, and you are met with a short hallway. Seems to be about 10 feet long. And he looks at you, It will be dark down there, and magic will not work. As soon as you step through these doors, all magic on your person will no longer work.
You mean like magic items and stuff too, right?
Correct. Now, I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds to retcon anything that you have preferred to have left at the inn. Like your bag of holding. Because otherwise
So-
everything will explode. Hence why I said something.
I'm assuming they wouldn't have let us in with weapons and such, right? Anyway.
Sorry, I'm just trying to calm dogs down from breaking anything.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have let you what?
In with our weapons and stuff if we had them with us.
No, they would not have let you in with
Yeah.
weapons.
So I would have not even brought it because that seems logical to me.
Yeah, I think at that point I would have effectively left everything back except for my flask, thieves' tools, and a dagger.
Hey, on the upside, I don't have disadvantage to stealth now.
Trying to figure out if your flask is magical.
I would say so.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if it's magical or alchemical. Or alchemical.
Mm.
We'll cross that bridge if we get there.
I do think it would be funny if like Brock went to try and take a swig because he was frustrated and like nothing came out.
If this dispels my flask, I'm gonna burn this fucking town to the ground.
I'm assuming it just suppresses, hopefully.
I think all of rolling stuff is fine. It'll just suppress it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave
I'm not going to
everything
ask
behind,
uncomfortable
but
questions of the DM.
Oh,
everything behind, but my quarterstaff, because that's just like a walking stick.
Okay.
I am going to leave the ghost lantern behind too.
Okay. Meanwhile, Allura. In your or you're in your cell. A guard comes over to the door, unlocks it. You have visitors. He looks unthrilled.
I jump up because I would have been like laying on my back on the floor because there's no bedding or anything. And it completely glossing over what he just said. Where the hell am I? What's going on? Because no one's told me shit.
You're in jail. You broke the law. You have visitors.
Wait, how did I get here? Who's visiting? What's going on?
Who's visiting? The hell?
I don't
What
know.
the fuck else do you know?
I don't know. They said some elephant and a dwarf and a dragon are coming to visit you. I don't really understand any of this. You apparently are friends in the Fae or something.
We don't have our bunny with us. It's a perfect
this
party.
I'll cut him off. Okay. Send him in.
Right. No, they're not coming in here. You're meeting them in the common area.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. You say that. Follow me. He escorts you down a hallway into an area where there are several tables. Hold on, because we do have a map for this.
Hey.
Azar, I'm going to need to have you do some very interesting baking wizardry to hide this dagger in this cheesecake you made.
I don't think I have that ability yet. I can barely make anything edible. Maybe eventually a cake.
Bear with me. I gotta get these tokens out because I just realized I didn't put any tokens out yet.
They're just taking us into a common room with somebody possibly carrying a world-ending contagion.
That's what I was thinking too.
She might not be contagious for the first 10 days.
Then why does she need to be quarantined?
She's more in jail than quarantined.
They said they were quarantining her.
In before, this is their excuse to imprison all of us.
Everything will be explained. Hold on. Let me get imagery up for this.
If they try and imprison all of us, I've been playing along with the law as far as I can. That will suddenly start to change.
Oh my god.
Okay. We are switching maps. So they escort you to this room where there are 8 tables, and they have you sit at the table farthest from the entrance. And as soon as you sit down, they shackle you to the table.
This is Allura, I assume we're talking
Uh-huh.
about. Okay.
Yes, that would be hilarious.
And they tell you, do not leave this seat. Do not try to get up. Do not try to touch anyone. Or you can talk, obviously. Don't try to touch anyone, hug anyone, hand anyone anything, or accept anything from anyone. Is that clear?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Sorry, I am so tired. My brain is. You can like
I think the
hear.
blank stare is even more hilarious, though.
You can like hear the shutting down noises like audibly in my brain right now.
That's okay.
The contagion works in mysterious ways.
Seriously.
Yeah, so she'll be like, fine, just send him in.
Great. He looks at the guards that are lining the walls of the room and nods to them, and they stand at attention. He walks over to the wall. It's this gentleman here. Walks over to the entranceway, and you hear him tap on the wall to his side. Those of you in the hallway hear this tapping below, and the guard that's escorting you says, "We are going to head down now. It is a spiral staircase downward. 1, watch your step. If you fall, you're on your own. Not helping you. 2, we're playing Mario Brothers. 2,
Sorry. I didn't know it was going to do that.
you will be seated at a table away from her. You are not allowed to touch her. You are not allowed to hand her anything or accept anything from her. Do you understand what I'm asking of you?"
We're not idiots. Don't take anything from the prisoner.
Let me explain this to you. It's more so the contagion that I'm concerned about.
Okay.
I don't want it exiting with you. And it's passed by touching.
We don't want a contagion either.
Fantastic. So they're going to set you up at a table, away from her, but close enough that you can still talk. You might have to yell a little bit. The room's full of guards. It doesn't matter. Are you ready to go and see your friend?
More than ever.
Fantastic. And he escorts you down this horrible spiral staircase. You see the long hallway lit by torches on the wall. And he escorts you down to the entrance here. Motions for you to enter the room and politely requests that you sit at least one table away from the guest, which would basically be either this table here or this table here.
I was like, I'm not getting any closer to her.
I imagine Karamu's like, I'm gonna cover my mouth and my nose.
Officially, the two who can cure diseases are the furthest away.
And also, I'm immune to disease, but whatever.
I'm also currently unable to cure a disease.
When Allura sees you guys, she will instinctively, like, her hands are bound, so she can't. But you could like see her rolling her shoulders, trying to get her robes wrapped around. Don't come near me! I stink.
You're also apparently infectious.
What?
Ew.
That's why they made us sit over here, because you knocked over a guy who was carrying a bunch of vials of a
Plague.
contagion, a plague, and they're worried you might have contracted it.
I have no memory of this. I went from a library room to a jail cell. That's all I know.
Think of it this way. When you landed, their alarm, from what I understand, their security didn't prevent you from teleporting in, but it prevented you from actually coming/staying in. So basically, immediately straight to jail. But you kind of landed on a dude with an important thing.
Oh,
The allegations against you are that you tried to teleport into the forbidden area of the library. And on doing so, you bumped into someone who was carrying these vials and knocked them down where they broke and possibly released the contagion. And you were immediately then teleported into a cell down here. Regardless of what actually happened, you're telling us that you don't remember any of that happening. Regardless of any of that, they're going to put you on trial with a magic spell that reads your internal opinion of yourself to determine your own guilt. So it doesn't matter what lies or truths you might tell anybody out here, it's going to read you personally. If you, in your heart of hearts, know that you did this wrong thing, it's going to find you guilty.
While you
There is
guys
no-
are explaining that, I crawl across the top of the table to get to the other side, picking my way between the dirty dishes, being like, oh, sorry, this is silly.
I'd love to believe you don't remember it, because if you legitimately don't remember it, it's possible it didn't happen that way and something else is going on. I'm just saying, if it's not the truth and it's just a convenient cover story, that's not going to fly when it gets to the actual trial.
okay, slow down. So wait a minute. I somehow knocked over someone that was carrying like the plague, and I probably might have the plague, and I'm
Yes.
going to spend 30 years in jail if I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Or they might kill you because the sign said it was forbidden on pain of death.
Yeah.
That was not pointed out to me.
It was in text.
The
in
law
front of
says
you.
that if there was a sign, then they can do pretty much whatever they want as long as the council agreed, which they did.
Well, what?
Apparently, if you touched the handle to the door instead of trying to teleport in, you would have just burst into flame and died right there. So, I've already
What
had words
did
with the
not
mayor
tell
about the
me this?
incompetence of this security, but that's not what's on trial here.
Okay. So wait. They're good. What? They're gonna magically determine what's going. Okay, I
The
have to be
mayor's
guilty.
the mayor's wife has some kind of powerful spellcaster. She's the one who's enchanted all the rooms down here to prevent magic use. She has a spell that will basically strap you into a chair and throw daggers made of pink smoke into you spiritually, which will somehow divine whether you feel you did the thing that was forbidden to you, whether or not you felt that you should be able to do it or not is irrelevant. Whether you knew it, you were not supposed to do it is what matters, and will also determine whether or not you truly have remorse for having done it. Not that you feel remorse for getting caught doing it, but whether you feel remorse for having done it.
She'll
it
hang her head and be like, "Oh shit."
it's very specific on that, and they will throw the book at you in terms of punishment if you only feel remorse for getting caught.
I'm
And
sorry. I apparently knocked over a box.
Very
no, that's
important
not
box
the
with playing.
piece that they're. It's not the effect of what happened once you were in there. Is the alleged first
Going
piece
in.
that caused you to hit the dude.
Wait, so she's sorry for like potentially releasing the plague that wouldn't count?
Trying to enter a place that had a sign on it that said "forbidden on pain of death" means that if she saw the sign and knew what the sign said and tried to get in anyway, then she would know. She should have known that what doing so was wrong, which would make her guilty. And if she
Look,
feels remorse for having done so, then she might get leniency. But if she just feels regret for having been caught, there will be no leniency.
well, look. Okay, I am sorry. I knocked over a box that I had no knowledge of knocking over. I woke up in a jail cell, and yeah, I did not see that sign. That was not. They literally just pointed and said that's the forbidden section, and then left me to my own. They didn't mention anything about bursting into flames or a magic free jail cell.
But they did say it was forbidden.
Well, it's called the forbidden section, but I mean, come on.
It's like having a red flag in front of a bull.
I agree it's dumb. The problem is it's how the law is written here. This is not me trying to sanction you for what you did. This is me pointing out the reality of the situation we now find ourselves in.
Okay.
I apologize
well,
you've been in here for 2 days already. It'll be another 8. That's how long it takes. That's how long it
7,
apparently takes for the
10
contagion
days
to...
total.
Can I at least get like a bucket of water or something to wash myself? I stink.
Mm,
We're
I'll try
moving
and
you
talk...
to a new cell. It's fine.
Well, there you go. Is she going to have at least decent accommodations? I'm speaking with the guard. Is she going to have at least decent accommodations in this new cell?
Bath, 3 hot
Like,
meals,
the ability to clean herself, decent meals, a bed to sleep on. I don't know if she's even got a bed.
books
We've-
3.
I don't have a bed. I had to sleep on the cold stone floor.
That is inhumane.
It is pretty
what?
awful.
Since when? Where?
What?
Right. Well, we had to ensure. Never mind. Doesn't matter. You don't need to know.
Okay, now wait a minute. What kind of plague? Like, what am I sick with?
We don't know if you're sick with it.
With what?
Maybe.
Contagion.
Apparently, the way they got rid of it the last time was by quarantining the entire town and waiting for everybody who was infected with it to die.
Oh, nice.
And apparently, if we cure it
It's
magically,
effective.
which we're capable of doing, it just comes back. So
It was effective.
It's a bad one. I mean,
And
we
they just
preemptively cure you right now just to be sure, to just try and help out a little bit, but
Huh.
magic doesn't work down here, so we can't even
Oh.
try.
No. Anyway, we've been approved to move you into an actual cell block, so we'll be doing that after we're done
Oh.
here.
Goody, thanks.
Would you like to go back to the arrival cell?
No.
Okay, then.
There's not much else we can do, unfortunately. We are working on it. This is the soonest we can get in to see you.
I mean, that's fine. I did expect that you would eventually find me. I wasn't sure that you could because I didn't tell you where I was going. But yeah, so what's the plan? Like I have to be here for 8 days. Then
8
what?
more days.
Then
Trial.
you go to trial.
Ugh.
Well,
Which
wait,
is
no.
to strap you into a chair and hit you with the spell
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, okay.
We've talked with the master of the law in the town, which is how we know how all of this works so well. He doesn't think there's a lot of wiggle room around it. I have a book of the laws for the region. I'm going to try and find something in there, but it's massive, and I don't think it's even complete because he said something about 28,000 pages of laws.
28.
So we're doing what we can, but this is a deep prospect. The best thing I can suggest, unfortunately, is that you search your heart and truly find some way to feel remorse.
Look
What you've done.
inside yourself and think about what
Oh my
you've
God.
done and
Oh.
how it is just not been the best of cases and like
Oh.
caused all of these problems. And maybe in the future
Oh.
you will do better.
Thanks.
You smell
I'll,
really bad.
I'll do that.
No, Zara, it was not what you were saying. It was.
Okay.
Oh, you smell really bad.
It sounds dumb, but this would be the easiest solution to the problem.
At this point, Alert's
Roland's
gonna
not laughing. I'm laughing.
he's gonna look like super incredulously at the four of you, just like, and then she's going to burst into tears.
Well, that's a start.
Oh, it ain't guilt, which I'm not. She's
I
not
know.
saying this, but
I know, but I'm just like, that's a start. It's a step in the right direction. Ever so slightly.
If you're found guilty, we'll move on to other tactics. We're hoping we can try and ransom you out into our custody or something like that, rather than
If
have you be put to
necessary.
death or locked away for 30 years.
Oh,
Or we'll do everything we can to get you out of here. It's just the trial is going to come first.
Worst case, we'll be back in 30 years.
did you ask if there's an appeals process?
I did not specifically ask if there was an appeals process, but the process is go through this spell, which determines your guilt inherently, which doesn't seem like there's much of a way to have an appeal. You just go through the process again and just get the same results, unless the
Mhm.
person's significantly changed.
okay. Well, and she'll like wipe on her shoulder because she can't use her hands, and I'll do what I can.
Good
I'll
luck.
turn to the guards. Is there any chance that she can be given like a book or something like that to spend her time while she's down here? Like whatever books folks can find that it could be approved for
That
access to
don't
by the
contain
prisoners.
the plague.
We're under a fucking library, guys.
I think that can be arranged.
Yay.
So there we go. We'll do what we can to try and make this as comfortable as we can for you and get you out of here as soon as we can. We are working on it.
Thanks.
In the
Chin up.
meantime, don't fuck anything else up.
I like Roland more than you.
He's not wrong though.
Look, there is no way for me to misbehave. They've got me good. I can't even. And she was gonna say, I can't even because she was gonna say disguise herself, but she like cuts off. I can't. Yeah, I can't use magic. So
Yeah, she's noticeably a teenager.
Yeah.
I look over to a guard. She had a pack of items when she arrived. Where are those?
They would be upstairs in the holding.
We would like to take those with us, please. They have no
Even if
bearing
they're
on
not,
any of this.
even if she's to remain incarcerated, that we would be able to take those things with us rather than leave them with you. I mean, they're not your possessions. Adelaide's
Two guards talk with the master of the guard, and he's nodding as they're talking, and he says something to him you can't quite make out. They say something back, and they back and forth for a minute, and one of the guards turns and goes, "Yeah, we can arrange. You'll have to sign over. We'd have to sign over custody to you of the items,
yeah.
but yeah, we can make that happen."
Greatly appreciated.
That will make one less thing you folks need to keep a handle on.
Yeah, that room's getting pretty full. Mostly because people just forget their stuff.
Roland just looks around. Is there anything else we needed to talk with? Anything you needed to talk to us about, Allura?
Any questions?
No.
Hey, girl, this is prison. Hold your shit together. Being weak like that is gonna earn no one friends, especially if you're going to a regular prison block.
Oh yeah, are you sharing a room with somebody? Are you gonna put her in a room with somebody?
She's
She
got
needs
a
to be by
contagion.
herself. Oh right.
She's getting an entire cell block to herself.
Oh, okay.
Minus the 3 guards and the gentleman she landed on.
Isn't
Well,
that dangerous for the guards?
They were present.
Oh, those
When-
are the ones who
Yeah.
also. Okay.
Yeah.
when Brock says his, get your shit together, she's not used to being like handcuffed. She'll instinctively try to flip him off, but she's like trying to lift her hands. And so when she realizes that she can't, she'll just scowl.
That's fine. Use your mean face against the people in the block. Okay, they're not happy to be there, and you need to be scrappy. Okay? Because technically they're there because of you, and I'm sure they're very mad about it.
She'll continue to scowl at you for another like 30 seconds, and then she'll turn to Roland and be like, "Thank you."
I'm just trying to keep you alive in here, girl. Take someone from experienced. Find
Yeah, that's a
something.
fair point.
Especially because if you try and tell someone that, don't touch me, I've got a terrible contagion, they're probably not going to believe you, even if it is
Well,
true.
she's all by herself. There's nobody for her to intimidate.
There's always someone to intimidate.
I've not found that to be true.
Didn't
And
you
don't let
live
the guards
in a
push you
desert
around.
by yourself?
Didn't I what? Yes.
Live in a desert by yourself? With
For a while.
There are people around here.
Undead people.
Y'all about finished up.
You got a lot of other stuff to do?
Yep.
How's that my problem?
Oh my god,
About to
Roy.
be your problem.
Don't tell me that, mouthing off to a low-paying guard is illegal too.
No.
It's just rude.
But we'll just take her back to her cell and lock you guys down here in the common room. I don't
No.
care. You can stay here all day till I come back for evening rounds.
No, I have work to do. I can't stay here.
That also sounds pretty against the
No,
law.
I guess they're kicking us out.
Why is the police state like this everywhere that I go?
Let's just not provoke anyone down here while we're here.
Have fun.
Fun.
I mean, even when you're incarcerated, you can find ways to have fun, find the joy, the
Don't
upside
turn your
of the
back to
situation.
people.
It's the little things sometimes.
Don't drop the soap.
They're not going to give her soap.
Oh man. Oh. So as you guys go to leave, a guard escorts ahead of you. The master of the guard escorts ahead of you. Again, 2 guards flank. And they escort you back up the spiral staircase. Allura, you are delivered to a cell. Do, do, do. Hold on. That is your cell.
Okay.
Hey, it looks like you have either a toilet or a sink. Or a
Or a
toilet
bucket.
sink.
Or a bucket. Who
Okay.
knows?
That's perfect. It's actually like a 15 by 10 room, man.
Yeah, that's big.
They
If
treat
it
the
is
prisoner as
just
well. Poop bucket and everything.
if it's like actually a bucket of water, I would like wash my face a little, like run wet hands through my hair, just something to not stink so bad from 3 days of having to pee in a corner and having no baths.
Oh, maybe that's not water.
Is it not water? I said if. I did say if.
You did say it.
I'm picturing her getting like all over her face and then roughly into her hair. They're going, wait a minute, that's not water.
Damn, I thought it was apple juice.
Man.
There is a bucket of water in the room that you could sponge bath with. All right. So you guys have been escorted out. Allura is left to her jail cell. We are back in the courtyard of the establishment where the when you guys come up the spiral staircase out of the short hallway, he points to another door just around the corner. And it's just a simple door. Knock on that door, they'll give you her effects and have you sign for them.
Roland will immediately turn and open the door and go in.
Thank you.
I get to sign for things.
Yes, my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the guy's just like, here's her stuff, clank, sign here. And that's it. And the paper that just says that you received her items and the list of the things that was there.
I'm going to spend a few minutes going through her items before I sign anything.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see if anything is specific is missing. I'm not like trying to like get invasive, but I'm trying to check on a few important things like the card.
Excuse me, is this the condition that it arrived?
This looks a little banged up. I don't think she did that.
So they cataloged everything, so you just find it like written down as miscellaneous tarot card.
Okay. I'll verify that it's in there. But that's
Yeah,
most
like
of
there's
it is
some
just-
stuff they're like, call it
I was-
this. I don't care.
I'm just double checking to
Yeah.
make sure it's there, and then I'll sign off on it.
What did they think of my blood vial necklace?
Ooh.
Vampiric attire. Like,
Goth tryhard necklace.
that's it. Yeah, everything that is present though. Nothing is missing. After you get her effects, you come back out. The master of the guard is gone. The two guards that had also escorted you are still present, and they escort you from the courtyard. And then not like aggressively. They're more so just there in case you guys have questions, concerns, or anything like that. So they're just there to make sure that everybody knows that you're authorized to be in the area that you're in.
Cool. I need to go get to my job. You guys have fun.
When you guys reach the front gate, they leave you there. You exit the courtyard, and they stay within the garden. And you are on your own to make your way down to the Unicorn's Blessing.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I've been yawning this whole time. The struggle is real tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
Oh, thanks. Not for me. I don't think there's anything.
I would have to think on it on, a couple seconds notice. Not really.
Yeah, I'm pretty much at fast forward the next 8 days until we get to the trial. I don't think there's much else to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Because I don't know if there's anything Melvin would do in a 10-day downtime. Because that's a lot of downtime.
I would say probably.
And it's already 11:15. We've only got like 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
So we'll call it early. We'll leave off on the afternoon of day 3. And then we'll pick up the next session. So if there's anything else that your characters want to do, try to learn, anything like that during this downtime, any research you guys want to do, they have basically you have been able to gain access to the library. So if there's any research or anything you guys want to do while you're here, you can. I know Zara still needs to pick up her armor.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I went and did that. I'm sorry. Like the
okay.
second day when it was ready.
It's all good. I don't remember you saying that, but if you did, then that's fine.
Yeah, because I think we paid up front, right? So I just had to pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have gone and done that as soon as it was ready, basically.
Okay. So yeah, so if there's anything else that you guys can think of that you want to do during the downtime, let me know. Allura, they do bring you like I'm gonna say some pretty jank books. Like they're not enjoyable, but they're like reading them will very quickly put you to sleep. So they do serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Book of Venereal Disease.
How not to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like one of them talks about like the breeding habits of rabbits. Like it's truly not that enjoyable. But
oh god, I've seen Melvin do that.
Oh no. Not good. Not good. All right. Excuse me. Let's figure out experience.
Oh my god.
Let's do 1600.
Okay.
I was complaining about being tired to one of my friends, and he's like, well, you just need to roll for a long rest. And that reminded me of the time that Matt fell asleep with his carrot on camera.
Holding the carrot. Yeah. It was perfect.
Yeah. It will go down in infamy on the stream.
To be fair, I would never I love y'all, but I will never ever play D&D every week from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
I know. I can't imagine doing that.
I could do it. Like we did Sill's stream, his Extra Life stream.
Yeah, that's like once though.
And I'm fine for 24 hours. So I did from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I go to the 25th hour that my brain is like, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do like 1 to 5 in the morning, especially if I
Yeah.
enjoy what I'm doing.
It's like when we drove down from Massachusetts to Virginia and back in one day. That was a literal 24-hour trip because we spent an hour having lunch or dinner with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was good until we got 5 minutes from home, and then my brain shut off. And almost got in so many accidents in that last little 5 minutes because my brain was just like, "Oh, we're done."
Mm-hmm. It's like 24 hours and 1 minute. Nope. 23 hours, 59 seconds. Absolutely, I'm still fine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
My brain has a hard shut off.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I'm weak.
Oh, but you're still young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Am I the youngest person out of the group of us?
I think
think so,
so.
yeah.
Probably.
Wait,
Yeah.
how are you?
Likely.
What, 32 now?
I'm turning 33 in a week.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I think I'm the second youngest at 36.
Okay. Matt is either 36 or 37. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think he's
a
37.
little older
Yeah.
than me.
And
Yeah.
then we go up from there.
So it's either Sill or Endis that's the oldest, and I don't
I think
remember
it's
which
me. I'm
one.
46.
Ooh, you got me by 1 year, Endis. No, wait. 2 years. I'm 44, I think. I can never remember.
Thank you. Someone who just does not matter. Like,
Once you get up above like 40, it's just like, when was it born again? What year is it now?
Dude, no, I've been this way since like my 20s. My mom called me to wish me a happy birthday on my birthday one time, and I was like, "Oh, it's my birthday? Okay." I didn't even like I knew when my birthday was, but I didn't know the date basically.
I know. It's so this entire year, like the last 360 days, I thought I was 33 already.
I do
And
that
then I'm like,
constantly.
oh, I'm turning 33, right?
I just turned 41 like
Yay.
2 weeks ago.
No,
Happy birthday.
Thanks. 3 weeks ago.
Some amount of time ago.
October 25th.
Okay.
However many weeks ago it was.
almost a month now. 'Cause it's
Yeah, 2 weeks
no,
ago.
that's 11.
No, not quite.
Jesus Christ.
Very soon though.
It's okay. We appreciate you still.
I always feel like by the time you get to November, the year is just like that.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck happened?
I always so still has a strong rule about Christmas. It doesn't go up until after Thanksgiving.
Yes, preach.
I found a way around that.
Oh,
You will
yeah?
not ignore my favorite holiday.
I just don't take it down.
Ah, yes.
I've had Christmas up for a year now.
That is awesome. I love that.
I love every minute of it. Outdoor lights, Christmas tree, all of it. A whole
I
year.
think trees should have lights all year round. It looks so cool.
It's just like I just go and sit in the living room and I put Christmas music on in my earbuds and I just zone.
Ah,
And it actually is very refreshing for me
that's
to just
awesome.
Up here, most of the like usually like the lighter Christmas lights, like not the bright colored ones, but
Mhm.
like white or blue or whatever. They usually stay up pretty much all winter long.
Mhm.
Half the time because like they're buried under snow. Everyone's going out there to get them.
Mhm.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I left my Christmas lights up. They're on an auto, so they turn on at dusk, turn off at dawn. Or we have like a remote trigger that we can go out and just flip them off.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I have a
I'm sorry, you said flip them off, and I imagined you going out there being
Yeah.
like, fuck you, lights.
and then I have a pallet Christmas tree that I made that is in my front yard
Oh, nice.
that has lights on it that I unplugged, but it's still sitting out there.
Yeah.
Is it just like a cross section that gets
No,
tapered?
so I just cut the edges off the palette.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then painted it,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
was really fun. But yeah, so I just left Christmas up year round. That was my way around his rules.
Perfect.
Because I feel like my birthday hits and I'm like, I don't celebrate Halloween. There's no such thing as Thanksgiving decorations. We're going straight into Christmas.
I think Thanksgiving decorations are just general fall decorations.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what we do is just fall.
Mhm.
We
Canadian
those are the-
Thanksgiving is in October.
Yeah.
We don't have that little shield against Christmas. It starts encroaching right at Halloween.
I'm okay with that. But like Christmas is my favorite holiday.
It's
And it-
mine.
And it has nothing to do with gifts. It has everything to do with family. Like I love like bringing the family together. It's the only time I get to see like our nieces and nephews, and everybody comes together and we play games and we just have a really good time.
Mm.
Oh,
That's Thanksgiving for us. Yeah.
Thanksgiving
I
is for adults and a turkey.
I mean, outside of my own children, the youngest person in our family is in high school.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't like my family, so
Yeah.
it's not a family thing for me. It's for Christmas. It's the atmosphere of like the world and the city is just it's shiny and pretty, and there's like this buzz just floating around, and it makes me happy. That and I love decorating, so it's an
Yeah.
excuse to do my house over in lights and pretty things.
Well, and like I don't decorate for fall.
Mhm.
I don't
just
either.
don't.
Mostly because I don't have the money to, but if I had spare money, I would decorate for like every possible major holiday. I'd be
That
absolutely
requires more energy than I want to put into other holidays.
That's totally fair.
All right. So next week we will pick up with afternoon of day 3. Yes.
The weekend after next week,
Thanksgiving weekend.
yes. Are we planning on meeting that weekend?
I'm indifferent. We'll be here. I'll be available either way because we don't have plans that weekend.
I'll be here. I mean, we're just doing our own small family thing, and I might have a coworker or something, which is again going to be on Thursday. So
right.
I think we're driving back up for my parents on Saturday, so it'll kind of depend for me if we do that.
It's fine. And we can always play it by ear. We can always do a one-off instead. It really just it also depends on where we are in the campaign.
Right.
Like if you guys are in the like mid jailbreak, yeah, I'm gonna wait for everybody to be present. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on where we are in the campaign.
So what she's saying is we're gonna have to jailbreak.
Emphasis on if. Capital I, capital F. If. Really, it's up to Allura if we have a jailbreak.
Uh-huh.
Get ready to break me out.
Yeah.
finally, thieves' tools get used.
Mhm.
Oh, the shenanigans.
All right.
Yeah, so let me know. Like, we'll just figure out who all is attending on the 25th. And play it by ear. It's fine. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next
Okay.
Saturday.
All right. Night.
And with that, if I can get to the right screen here. Hurry up. There we go. Why did my music stop? What in the heck? Come on. Oh, because YouTube decided to ask if I was still watching. Gonna have to, add an extension to not do that. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. I will be back on Tuesday. I kind of took the week off because we had no raids. I was doing a lot of coding, so it would have mainly just been you watching me type code, which yeah, that can eat up some of a 24-hour stream, but probably not that exciting otherwise. So, this Tuesday, though, the new raid comes out, and we will be starting in on that. So, I will be streaming Tuesday, Thursday. That'll be 9 o'clock Eastern, and then next weekend we are on, yeah? Okay, I zoned out during the end discussion there. So, and then next Saturday we'll be back here at 8 o'clock. So, till then, as always, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great night.